fire away some questions.
Hi Grace, hi Sophie. I know the motto has kind of been find a way throughout this season. Can you guys talk about kind of how you're going to really implement that and focus on that, not just after this game, but with Mara out and just kind of like finding a way because there's still, plenty of games left in the season.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously miss Mara. We wish for a speedy recovery, but we still have a lot of quality players on this team, and people, are starting to find their new roles, and we're banding together. And I felt like we did a lot of great things tonight, so we're gonna keep building on that for the future games, and find our way.
For sure.
What did you see from the press tonight that maybe you struggled with, but also that you were happy about in the rest break?
I think just originally we just didn't get into our press break fast enough, and then once we did, I thought we broke it really well, and we were getting shots off of it, and they went off of it for a while, but then once we get back into it, we should have to execute the game a little faster next time.
What did you see from the team as a whole, just kind of stepping up without Mara now?
I think, again, like Sophie said, just finding a way and having everyone step into some new roles, and just, again, we have some quality players on this team, and just let the game come to us.
I feel like sometimes too when this happens, teams can kind of turn in on themselves. Oh, I need to get mine, or I'm gonna try to replace this role. I don't feel like we've had that. We're staying together, which is really great too.
Yeah.
Who have you seen us kind of step into different roles tonight?
I think all of us in our own way. I mean, I know we had all of our players off the bench and everybody stepping up and doing some new things, and I think we did really well at that, and we're going to keep learning and building for the future games.
I think we also have an understanding of, we can't replace her. I'm not going to be all of a sudden come out and start shooting a ton of threes, so we just kind of have to stay with our skill set and figure out new ways to kind of utilize that within the offense now too.
Were there any standout performances or positive aspects despite the loss tonight?
I think, just making sure when we were running those plays, everyone, especially I think on the defensive end, just was helping each other, and sometimes even a little too much, but I think that was one of our goals tonight, and we executed that, and
What did you see as the biggest difference without Mara on the floor? Did you find spacing a little bit more difficult to figure out? I mean, teams obviously don't have to double up on her now because she's not there. I mean, what did you see as maybe the biggest change in the way that teams played you guys?
Yeah, I don't know if the spacing necessarily felt different. I think we ran a lot of ball screens, which I think plays to our strength right now. Obviously we missed her kind of on that kick out within the double, but we still have a lot of great shooters on the team, so it didn't necessarily feel like, oh, well shoot, I can't kick out to so-and-so because,
we just got to keep finding each other on offense, and I mean, I think they were doubling Amaya as well, and just making sure that we find each other on offense.
It seems like you guys made a point to attack the cup a bit more in the third quarter. How did you feel about that adjustment, and what did you like to see from the offense in the third?
I think we knew that our threes weren't falling, not that we were going to stop shooting them, but just attacking the rim, and that opens up people again on the kickouts, and Soph did a really good job of that, and other people did too. So I think that's always one of our goals, is to attack more and get people open like that.
Any more? All right, we're good, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's just one
Yeah. We can have that. Yeah. Okay.
This is nice. Instead of one like this.
myself on the wall.
Is it yours?
No.
Oh,
No.
you got it.
Crafting what needs to be
I'm
said
like,
about
let me get something like this. This would be
learning
nice.
and growing.
Yeah.
Learning and growing.
It's not a bad job.
Right? I like it.
Have a kids video.
Shout out to Kieran.
It's for caring literally the important. Horrible HBS staff and host. I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but when I was on that, it's like, we need to be better. We need to figure it out.
Yeah.
It can't happen.
Take it out.
Oh, let's go.
I mean, they literally told us, please do something, we're gonna bring it back. Sure.
That worked
This
last
point-
time.
At this point,
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna do it.
you know, when we like cross wire headsets on.
We can hear each other.
Sounds like a whole.
I was like literally on her, trying to hear no Poor thing.
But you could hear control room?
No.
That's the other thing, right?
I showed that very good on the
I almost cried.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's kind of I was hoping. But me and there's still a little bit. Trenton, kind of.
It was just,
Who was?
yeah.
I guess he was here. Yeah, because we have to record it from my son, what you're getting. Yeah, I do see that.
Really? Okay.
It's, well, and I did the Canadian, so it's really
Mm-hmm.
and I told myself this years ago, in 2017. It's wrong.
Yeah.
Never true.
And then just going, I'll be able to.
Mm-hmm.
My advisors were like,
Yeah.
this thing is your semester goes like this, and some places are just like, I don't take
Yeah,
it.
I-
Really, I did have some classes because of design. I feel like doing some classes like that students, you can get an entire semester of tuition.
Yeah. I don't know, I think it's almost, not like, it is pretty expensive out here.
Yeah.
I don't see like.
I think it's just
Okay. What's my psychology? You working?
So then we brought out like all of this and so next year should just be classes. So I think it's like online classes
Yeah.
instead of like
Yes. I think the context courses for PhD can be really boring. I took a history of journaling class. Yeah, don't take that. Take like psychology of advertising. Yeah, that is one that I regret not taking. Yeah.
Yeah, I always do.
Yeah.
We got Coach Putsuwai here. fire away, Sue. Opening statement, then we'll open up for questions after that.
Thank you. I thought our young ladies competed in large stretches of that game, and Penn State's really, really good, and it's hard when you miss assignments. I thought we missed a lot of assignments, not from a lack of, I thought our effort was good, but we missed kids that we typically haven't in different spots, and kind of gave them some really good three-point shot opportunities from some of those things. And so those are opportunities that we've got to learn, we've got to grow, and we've got to get better at some of those things, because we've got to be really good defensively. You know, offensively, they play a style that forces your hand a little bit. You can't really screen a whole lot because they're switching all those things and denying. And so you got to create a closeout in some way, shape, or form. I thought, you know, again, we kind of gave them some points when we didn't get into press break early in the game. And so all those things kind of add up. You give them all of a sudden 8 points in this scenario, you give them 9 points in this scenario, you give them some points in some offensive rebound scenarios, you turn it over because you didn't get into a press break scenario, you missed an assignment in conversion, and then we didn't shoot it well from the free throw line. So you start adding those things up, and you're like, wow, that makes a big difference in the overall course of the game. So things that we can certainly go back and look at and develop at and get better at, but I thought our effort was really good. I think we've got a resilient crew, and I think they're going to come back and they keep getting better.
Questions?
How did you feel your team handled the press break when it did come on, and how they adjusted to it throughout the game?
Well, I thought we got some good looks out of it, and yes, we did turn it over at times. You know, and we had a lot of people that were in spots that they've never really been in before, and I thought overall we did a pretty good job of being in spots that were probably uncomfortable for us, and doing an okay job against it, and something that we're going to continue, you know, to work on and develop.
Did you see a team? I mean, so many people are being asked to maybe do just some things that they haven't done before. I mean, you knew that this was going to be an evolving process. You said that earlier in the week. I mean, did you see a team kind of maybe finding a footing a little bit after a slow start today?
Well, I thought early in the game, boy, did we get some really good shots that didn't fall, man. And again, I think we're improving. Again, some different players handling the ball, different players put in different spots in a press break scenario, different players having to defend on the perimeter, making some adjustments that way. So I think all in all, we got better throughout the course of this game, and we're going to continue to build on those type of things that we did better.
With so many players taking on different roles, how long generally does it take for a player to get comfortable acting in a different role or doing something that they haven't been asked to before?
I think everyone's a little bit different in that, and depends on kind of what that is. If that's an assignment in maybe transition defense, or if that's an assignment to make open threes. Those are two very different things, and both can take a lot. One can be done a little bit faster than another one can be done, and so I think that kind of all varies within each scenario and each player and what they're being asked to do.
I know you've asked and said earlier this year that you wanted to see a little bit more attack. There was a lot of attack tonight, and there were, like you said, some opportunities for kickouts, for shots that just didn't go. But
Right.
I mean, is that going to be maybe the biggest difference we see in this offense, maybe going forward, is more of a mentality to get that dribble penetration?
I think it's something that, with some of the players that are now playing in more elevated roles, that's one of their strengths, and so I do think that's something that we've got to be able to find ways to take advantage of. Okay.
Any more? Thanks, guys.
Thank you.